Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the Velvet. Welcome to the show. Guys are doing well because they're having a fantastic freaking day. Today we're seeing a subject that I fucking love. And it's the one, the only movie, The Truman Show. The Truman Show was what? The movie was the oh my god. I did a lot of videos, that's why I'm a bit tired. The Truman Show was that was a movie that came out in the late 90s, early 2000s. You want a date? You want a fucking date? Okay, let's go. They'll give you a date. I don't know if it matters. This is for my stats people. Truman Show. 1998. So pretty fucking like not super recent, but still kind of recent. So the Truman Show was an amazing movie. The Truman Show was a lot of people are seeing it as one of the best like cinematic pieces of all time. The Truman Show, why it's so good? Want me to tell you the truth? It's timing. It's the only reason people are worshipping that movie. Truman Show came out, and we were starting to see reality TV. Reality TV was taking more and more and more. The Truman Show, what is it? The Truman Show is the story of Truman, a normal person. Now, the craziest thing about Truman Show is it was a movie. It was a documentary. So you took a baby, right? And even the concept is fucking phenomenal. The concept is absolutely beautiful. You take a baby, and you raise it, and you see it go to school. You see it go to adulthood. You see him have a job, get married, want to have children, right? And that's insane. And then you realize, right? You realize, and that's a crazy thing, that you realize that people, everybody else is an actor. You realize that the city you grew up in is made up. The town that is literally a huge globe, a huge globe, right? And it's the Truman Show. The Truman Show is the documentary, the TV series or the reality TV of a human that you see grow up, and it's controlled. And we're seeing that. I was watching Greg Guedin, which is a prankster that does scripted prank where there's only one victim and everybody else is involved. The Truman Show was a show where everybody had an idea that it was someone, and everybody was watching it. It was super popular, and it's not because the Truman Show. Even today, the movie came out in '98, and even today in '24, still has a meaning. I've been the reason why we're talking about the Truman Show this morning, to be honest, because I've been really involved with Cobra JFS. I've been really involved with DSB lately. And it feels like I'm watching Truman Show. It feels like we're prying into a person's entire life. I've been talking about 2 weeks ago how I'm always looking for somebody who's been making content for a while because I got more content to watch. The entire life, if you see Chris Jan, he's the most documented person in the world on social media, which is crazy. And then it is absolutely nuts. And it is a beautiful thing because the Truman Show, the question on the Truman Show in itself was like psychology. It was, are we doing something that is good? Are we doing something that is morally correct, morally good? Because his entire relationship were all made up. His entire friendship were all made up. Everything that he had, and he didn't know that it was a show, right? And if you knew that it was a show, the show wouldn't be as good. But you're basically taking the life of somebody and you're fabricating another life. Truman didn't choose to be there. He was forced to be there. You're basically giving a person a false sense of life. It's nuts because the morality of it is not good. But then there's the intention. If Truman, you see, couple of mosquito bites. Which sucks. I hate mosquito. With the Truman Show, what we saw, it was really nice, was that, okay, well, morally speaking, you shouldn't take away the life. But if Truman himself didn't understand that it was better, then he's not going to be wanting. So, as a kid, right? As a kid, you're seeing a loony or a toonie and like, oh shit, I'm rich. You don't have a clue of money. There's going to be days where you feel like you're the happiest person on earth. Then the next day, you're like, oh no, my life is shitty. You have no clue what it is. Truman doesn't have a clue about the outside world. And it's not because it was almost to the point of an animal in a cage. A lot of animal in the cage, a lot of animal in zoos are born there, and if you release them to nature, they'll die because they don't have that sense of survival. They don't have the knowledge or the technique necessary to survive. So if you put them in the nature, they're gonna die, right? And that's true, man. If you put them in nature, what's gonna happen? Look at this shit. This is beautiful. This is absolutely phenomenal. Let me just take a picture. Yeah, this is beautiful. Beautiful. Oops. I want to see the sun. Can you see the sun? I had it perfect before, but did I move it? You dumb. There you go. A bit to the left. No. Like this, and a bit to the left. There you go. And the Truman Show is, how far should entertainment go? That was the question that we were asking. How far should we go for entertainment? How much reality TV become before it's too real? The Truman Show was a beautiful show, and there were people in the outside world that was like, "Oh, free Truman." And to a certain extent, it was beautiful because there's activist groups that are like free the animals. Those activist groups don't care what happened when you free them; they just want the freedom. And there were people wanting justice for Truman, and it was kind of cool because a lot of people were like, "Dude, what you're doing is immoral." But there was such imagine the entire town. And it was nuts because the way he realized it was his wife was presenting a product, and she was presenting it like a what you call it, like an ad. Every morning Truman said good morning or good evening. He said something to his neighbor, and he forgot something at home, and he went back and the neighbors told him the same thing, which was a mistake from the neighbor. He had a date. He had a date in high school, and she was an actress, but she was also an activist that wanted to get him out. So she told him a bit of the truth, and luckily he didn't understand that it was the truth. He had his best friend. His best friend was also lying to him. It's a sad piece. It's a sad piece. It's a really, really sad piece because you saw Truman since birth, and in the show, Truman is like 30 years old. So the show's been going on for 30 years, and there's a possibility for the show to be going on for 60, 70 years, which is nuts. But yeah, so the Truman Show, the way the movie ends is phenomenal. The way the movie ends is the director telling Truman, "Listen, this is a show. You're not ready for the outside world. You sure you want to leave?" And lets Truman leave. But again, it was the intention of, okay, well, this is a show that's about a baby, and you're seeing him grow. It's a documentary on how he's reacting, how he's growing up, and it's beautiful because you get this perverse look into somebody's life. You're seeing you're seeing their good moment, you're seeing their bad moment, which is now social media, which is the documentary of people on the internet, right? And the reason why I'm referring to DSP and Cobra is because they're local. They're probably better off the internet. They're probably better off doing something else than that. And it's sad because we perverse by watching them give views. There's this TikTok couple, and I was gonna talk about it, but there's this TikTok couple, Marc-André and Florence. Marc-André and Florence, they're scum of society. They abuse the system by getting unemployment. I'm talking about unemployment. I'm getting unemployment checks, but they're getting unemployment checks, and they're making money, and it's nuts because the guy's a bit more. The girl, I feel she's not a good person, and the guy is not a good person too, and he basically makes more than what he should. So when you have a disability check or whatever you want to call it, you're allowed to have a certain amount of money. So he has this amount of money, and then he gives the rest away to look like a good guy. No, it's because you know that if you give the rest of the money away, you'll get your check. And they're on every day, and it's nuts because the guy is like, "Oh, please help me get through the ranking," and the girl is also telling me, "Hey, get me through the ranking." So they're a couple that keeps asking and begging for gifts, and it's nuts because when you look at the people they are, it's disgusting. The apartment is disgusting. The guy's gonna sit on the floor. There's manipulation. There's controlling. The girl, everybody thinks that she's a saint, but she's also extremely manipulative. She's very manipulating, very calculated. She'll pretend like she's sick. She's pretending like she's She's Hill. And basically those two people are actively, and I do mean actively, acting in ways that make people worry about them. So when you look at the business sense, um, when you look at it from a perspective of content creation, it's brilliant. It is brilliant. It's possibly one of the best, the most brilliant thing I've ever saw. So you look at the content, you're even myself. For a while, I was addicted. So you look at it and you got the perfect bad guy, which is the dude, Marc-André, the perfect victim, which is the girl, Florence, and they actually made it to be the bad guy. That's pretty much it. So yeah, it's crazy, but such is life. Anywho, long enough video. Truman Show, baby. Watch it. If you haven't watched Truman Show, it's a really good piece of content. The main character is Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey plays beautifully. And it's not because Jim Carrey at that time. It's actually crazy. Jim Carrey at that time was one of the four figure. He was one of the most popular comedian. And the Truman Show is actually quite sad. It's actually quite sad. So, why it's so good is because Jim Carrey, which is a comedian, acts very funnily, acts very happy-go-lucky kind of guy. And as much as the story begins, it's becoming more and more of a drama. It's like, holy shit, I realize that. The best part of this is, you remember the girl I told you, hey, she wanted to get Truman out. Well, he's still in love with her. Even though he's married, he's still in love with her. You're seeing money out of my drawer. Love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.